Imagine this for a second. You're walking up to an Aston Martin, and before you even catch the badge, you just know what it is. Long hood, wide stance, that unmistakable mix of elegance and muscle. Now, take that mental image and fast forward it into the near future, because the 2026 Aston Martin DB12 is shaping up to be one of the most exciting evolutions of Aston's modern era. As a car enthusiast, this is one of those models that makes you stop scrolling and lean in a bit closer. The DB line has always been the heart of Aston Martin, the grand tourer that blends performance with luxury in a way few brands can match. And with the 2026 DB12, Aston isn't just polishing the formula, they're clearly trying to push it into a new chapter. First impressions matter, and the DB12 absolutely understands that. From everything we've seen and heard so far, the design takes the bold look introduced by the current DB12 and sharpens it even further. It's still unmistakably Aston Martin, but with more confidence in every line. The front end looks more aggressive, with a wider grille that gives the car a planted, purposeful presence. The headlights are slimmer and more focused, almost like they're squinting at the road ahead, ready to pounce. The side profile is classic grand tourer, long, flowing, and elegant, but not soft. There's a tension in the bodywork that hints at serious performance underneath. Around the back, the rear haunches look more pronounced, giving the car that powerful rear drive stance enthusiasts love. It's not flashy for the sake of being flashy. It's refined aggression, and that's very Aston. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where things get really interesting. Aston Martin has been slowly but confidently moving toward electrification, and the 2026 DB12 is widely expected to embrace a hybrid setup. This doesn't mean sacrificing the soul of the car. If anything, it's about enhancing it. The idea is simple. Keep the emotional punch of a powerful engine while using electric assistance to boost performance, improve efficiency, and meet modern regulations. Rumors suggest a high-performance hybrid system paired with a twin-turbo engine, delivering instant torque when you put your foot down and smoother power delivery overall. The goal isn't to turn the DB12 into a silent cruiser. It's to make it faster, sharper, and more responsive than ever. Imagine pulling onto a highway and feeling that immediate surge as the electric motor fills in the gaps before the engine really starts to sing. That's the kind of experience Aston seems to be chasing. One thing fans always worry about with hybrids is sound, and that's a fair concern. Aston Martin knows that the soundtrack is part of the magic. Expect them to work hard to make sure the DB12 still sounds like an Aston should. Deep, rich, and unmistakably powerful. Even with electrification, this is not a car that fades into the background. Now, here's a twist that sparked a lot of conversation. The idea of light off-road capability. Before anyone panics, we're not talking about turning the DB12 into an SUV or a rock crawler. This is more about versatility. Think adaptive suspension, drive modes that can handle rougher roads, gravel, or snowy conditions with confidence. It's about expanding where and how you can enjoy the car, not changing its core identity. This makes a lot of sense when you think about how people actually use grand tours. These cars aren't just for perfect roads and sunny days. Owners want to drive them across countries, through mountain passes, and sometimes on less than perfect surfaces. A bit of extra ground clearance in certain modes, smarter traction systems, and adjustable suspension could make the DB12 feel more usable without losing its sporty edge. Step inside, and this is where Aston Martin has been making huge strides recently. The interior of the 2026 DB12 is expected to be a major highlight. Aston has been listening to feedback, especially around infotainment and usability, and the result should be a cabin that feels both luxurious and modern. Expect a cleaner layout with fewer confusing controls and a more intuitive touchscreen system. Physical buttons aren't going away completely, which is good news. Things you use all the time, like climate controls and drive modes, should still be easy to access without digging through menus. The screens themselves are likely to be sharper, faster, and better integrated into the design rather than looking like an afterthought. Materials are where Aston really shines. Soft leather, real metal, and carefully chosen textures everywhere you touch. You get the sense that this isn't mass-produced luxury. It's carefully crafted. Seating comfort should also see improvements, making long drives even more enjoyable without sacrificing support when you start driving with enthusiasm. Technology is another area where the DB12 is expected to step forward. Advanced driver assistance features will be more refined, not intrusive. Things like adaptive cruise control, lane assistance, and parking aids will be there when you want them in the quiet. This is still a driver's car, first and foremost. Pricing is always a big question, and let's be honest, this is not going to be an affordable car by any stretch. The 2026 DB12 is expected to sit firmly in the high-end luxury sports car segment. Prices will likely climb compared to previous DB models, especially with hybrid technology and upgraded interiors. But for buyers in this market, the question isn't just about cost. It's about value and experience. When you compare it to past models like the DB11, the DB12 feels like a more confident, more modern interpretation of what a Grand Tourer should be. The DB11 was beautiful and powerful, but sometimes felt like it was straddling two worlds. The DB12 seems more focused, more assertive in its identity. It's not trying to be everything to everyone. It knows exactly what it is. Compared to older Astons, the difference is night and day in terms of technology and usability. You still get that classic Aston charm, but without the little frustrations that used to come with it. This is a car you can genuinely imagine driving every day, not just saving for special occasions. So where does the 2026 DB12 fit in the bigger picture? It feels like a statement, a message from Aston Martin that they're serious about the future, but they're not abandoning their past. They're evolving carefully and deliberately. Electrification isn't being forced in a way that ruins the experience. It's being used to make the car better. For enthusiasts, that's exciting. It shows respect for the brand's heritage while acknowledging the reality of where the industry is going. The DB12 isn't trying to chase trends. It's setting its own pace, doing things the Aston Martin way. If you're someone who loves Grand Tours, cars that can cross continents in comfort, and then tear up a twisty road with road strokes, the 2026 DB12 should absolutely be on your radar. It promises style, performance, and a sense of occasion every time you get behind it. And honestly, that's what an Aston Martin should always deliver. A feeling, an experience, something that makes every drive feel special. If the DB12 lives up to its potential, it won't just be another new model. It'll be a defining chapter in Aston Martin's story, and one we'll be talking about for a long time.